I've been watching you do stand-up for years, and I noted, have you ever gotten pushback from a person in your life who because, I've talked about people in my act, and they're like, hey, don't talk about me in your act, so I have to take it out. Have you ever had that? Because you got the mom, the hubby.
My mom, the one time that she got really upset about a joke, I talk a lot about how my mom wants to be black, and I kind of make fun about how like aggressively liberal she is. Like anyone that's not white has a pass to do anything in the world with my mom, and she like loves people so much more if they're not white.
Sounds like Brooklyn.
Yes, yeah. She'll underline anybody that's like, if I'm in a conflict with anybody, like even the lightest conflict, if anyone in their family isn't white, she's like, well, remember the childhood and systematic racism.
They grew up in Dubai.
She doesn't care about any of that. Like she loves it when I say those things because to her it like gives her street cred.
I'm
acknowledging
how that's
she
great.
Really thinks, so she loves it.
That's
what
great.
she didn't like was that I talk about her shawls that she wears, and I said she wears menopausal capes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She told me that she's like, I was having hot flashes when I saw that joke, and it just didn't hit home right. And she got very upset because I guess she was like in the throes of menopause when she heard me call her shawls menopausal capes, and that was the one thing where she was like, take it out of your.
That's like a liberal mom thing. Because my mom is also like where she'll side with like anyone but me.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, oh, I had this awful thing happen on the airline. She's like, well, they're having a hard time, and I'm like, you're my mom. You're siding with United.
Yeah.
This is fucking unacceptable.
That's a joke.
Is she with Palestine?
But there is something about like I don't know. Yeah, you're like. Any group that in them, I'm like
That's
airlines
true.
doesn't count, but any group that they could see as marginalized in some way, they will side with over their own kid.
Right.
Which is such a weird liberal thing.
That is, yeah.
I feel like also I don't know if it's part of why we're comics, but we get our final like statements to the world. It's like our little final arguments because I feel like my family, you had to make a whole testimonial to be believed about anything.
Good point.
So
and your dad's a lawyer, right?
And my dad's a lawyer,
right.
yeah. So I over apologize. I like over explain because my mom is kind of like a never ending victim. I mean, she's a good person, but she's always just like, well, Jesus, Rachel, I do my best. Like, and
a little Gloria Soprano.
Oh, yes. And I had a boyfriend in high school that like cheated on me. And I was like, Mom, he cheated on me and I caught him. And she was like, well, remember that his mother was incarcerated. And she
That's the
write him a letter. Write him a letter. And acknowledge some of his childhood. I'm like, he's inside of another woman right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was like, write him a letter, acknowledge like systematic racism and the fact that his mother was in jail, which also is almost racist. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Of course it is.
It's knocking on that door.
Racist again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get that from your parents at all or no?
I mean, no. But
Irish.
yeah, I mean, we didn't. First of all, no relationship talk whatsoever. You were on your own with,
Right.
they don't talk about like sex and stuff like that
Same.
ever.